Hey, what's going on? Instructor Mike here with Security Training Concepts, 79th and Normal in Chicago, coming to you with another video instructional on malfunctions clearance. Now, there are a plethora of malfunctions clearance videos out there. Add this one to your library, just another perspective. We're going to go on ahead and use our Glock Model 19 semi-automatic pistol chambered in 9mm. Okay, and as you can see, the action is open, the slide is to the rear or out of battery. We're going to go on ahead and make sure that we follow the 3 basic safety rules. Okay, there are plenty more after that, but the 3 top safety ones are, say it with me, assume every firearm is loaded, point that firearm in a safe direction, and you guessed it, keep your finger off of the trigger. This is very important. So we're going to make sure that this firearm is clear, that there are no live ammunition in no live ammunition in the area. Okay. We're going to look inside of the magazine, make sure no magazine is in the well. Okay. And then you're going to inspect to make sure that there is no round in the chamber. Okay. And I'm going to do that myself. No magazine in the well, no round in the chamber. Of course, making sure fingers off the trigger. Firearm is pointed in a designated safe direction. Okay. We're going to also make sure that there is no ammunition inside of our magazine. And this is a Glock Model 19 magazine. And we want to make sure that our snap caps are not actual live rounds. Snap caps can have various brands, various makes, okay? But the most important things about snap caps are it has no actual primer, okay? No gunpowder or smokeless powder inside, and that these projectiles are not actual projectiles. They are just shaped like an actual round of ammunition, but they do not have an actual projectile or a bullet that will actually be discharged, okay? And I'm going to go on ahead and load a few of them so that we can demonstrate our malfunctions. And you typically have 3 primary malfunctions. Your type 1 malfunction, which is your failure to fire, your type 2 malfunction, which is your failure to eject, and your type 3 malfunction, which is a double feed. I'm going to show you how to clear those malfunctions, okay? Again, no magazine in the well, no round in the chamber, no live rounds. Let's go on ahead and load this up. Now, this is our type 1 malfunction, okay? Type 1 malfunction, you pull your firearm out of the holster, you begin to press that trigger after you've taken aim, of course, at a deadly threat or if you're at the gun range, and you press that trigger. You get a click of the trigger, okay? But you get no pop, okay, which means that the bullet has not been discharged, and you get no recoil, click and no boom. Very simple, okay? Multiple things could be the cause of why this happens, but primarily it is a failure of that firearm or the failure of that round to actually fire. Let's not overanalyze it. Let's just keep it very simple. Trap. What does that mean? Tap, rack, assess, if necessary, press. Think about it. If you didn't know how to clear this malfunction, you may feel trapped, especially if a deadly threat is trying to continuously take your life. And the tool that you need to stop that deadly threat has malfunction. Well, you need to turn that feeling and that word trap into the action. Tap that magazine. Rack the slide to eject that bad round out of the ejection port and insert a new one. While you're tapping and racking, notice my eyes were still facing the deadly threat. I am assessing the situation and the threat to see if the threat is still deadly, and if necessary, press the trigger. I'll demonstrate. Tap, rack. While I'm assessing, deadly threat still deadly, press that trigger, okay? That's your type 1 malfunction. Now, let's go on ahead and demonstrate the type 2 malfunction, okay? In demonstrating the type 2 malfunction, we could call this a stovepipe, What happens is you may have a situation where the extractor has extracted the casing out of the actual chamber, but the ejector could be bent, broken, or missing. And so the ejector taps against the back of this casing to release it from the ejector so that it can be ejected out of the ejection port. And in this case, we are going to simulate a stovepipe, which is typically what you would see here, okay, a stovepipe. This is a stovepipe where the ejector did not eject the casing all the way. It's just that simple. Again, think about it. Trap. Tap the magazine, rack the slide to eject that bad casing, insert a new round, and assess the situation while you're doing that. And then if necessary, press the trigger if the deadly threat is still an active deadly threat, okay? That is your type 2 malfunction, which is the failure to eject. Let's do the type 3 malfunction. I affectionately call this the parking lot malfunction. Think about it. You're at a parking lot of your favorite restaurant and you left, okay, ate, had a great meal, you left, but you're leaving, and while trying to leave, someone wants your parking space, and they're mad because you're not moving out fast enough, so they pull right behind you. Well, I can't leave until you get out the way, and you can't get this parking space until I leave. That analogy is effectively how a double feed is, and I'll show you what a double feed looks like, okay? So here we have a double feed. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Now, in essence, the round has not been extracted out of the chamber. The slide has come to the rear and has started to move forward, but it has been stopped. Why? Because a round is trying to get in where the other round or the other casing has not been extracted out of the chamber. In other words, it's not clear. Now, some would suggest just pull the magazine out. Well, you have to understand that doesn't always work because different magazines have different base plates. Some are flushed with the grip and some are pulled out from the grip to where you are actually able to grip that. I actually call this ride wrap. Before I explain that procedure, let me help you understand this. If you have not mastered this, the first thing you want to do is if you have another gun, holster this one or discharge it, grab that second gun and use that second gun to stop that deadly threat because the clearance of this procedure is going to take just a little bit more time, okay? But if that's not the case and the deadly threat has walked away or you're able to advance to cover or concealment or get out of the way, that's what you need to do. Do what you have to do to stop that deadly threat. And or if the deadly threat has gone, get to some type of cover or concealment. So ride wrap, remove the magazine, rack the slide 3 times, insert the magazine, rack the slide again, and assess the situation to see if the deadly threat is still present. And if so, press that trigger. It already sounds like a lot. So I'll demonstrate. We're going to, sometimes you might not be able to move the magazine right away. See, watch, I'm going to press the magazine release. And sometimes you are able to get it out. But remember, you're working with the tension of that slide versus you trying to pull this out. So sometimes you're going to have to rack that slide to the rear and lock it. Then remove the magazine. Notice the bad round is out now, and I'm placing my magazine in my index finger. I don't want to discharge that magazine on the ground, and I still have effective control of this gun using my thumb and my middle finger and my ring finger. I still have effective control of this gun. I've locked the slide, removed the magazine, racked that slide 3 times. It's not always the case that the round is going to come out, so you need to rack that slide to make sure that the round is out. Insert that magazine, rack the slide again to insert a new round. Assess the situation while you're doing that, and if necessary, press. I'll demonstrate without all the talking. Here we go. I'm gonna grab this round, insert it in like the bad round, insert this magazine back in just like this. Uh-oh, we have a double feed. See? It can be done. It can be done. It takes practice, okay? So, hopefully you found this video to be educational. Please feel free to share it, like Instructor Mike on Facebook, Security Training Concepts on both Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you next time on the next video with Instructor Mike.